You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back, Rodrance, for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about the movie Sound of Freedom, and we're also going to talk about Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Now, of course, there's some pretty big expectations going on right down there in Miami as of right now. And, of course, one of the biggest questions of this entire football season is what is the health going to be like for Tua Tagovailoa after those very public concussions last year, where he was very much contemplating his future in the National Football League. Is he going to be able to recover? We know he's been doing a lot of different things in the offseason, including jiu-jitsu, and learning how to try to take hits and fall to try to prevent any further head injuries. The fact is, Tua is one bad hit away from no longer playing in the National Football League, and of course that hit was very public on national streaming. I can't say television because it was Amazon Prime, but there were about 10 million people that watched that happen live. One of the other things that's going on in society right now is, of course, the Sound of Freedom movie. It has taken over the entire country, and of course, that's a movie that delivers, and I've seen it, a very powerful message about human and child trafficking, and it's a movie that is a very tough, difficult watch. It's a very good film, but it's a difficult watch, and it should be a difficult watch. It's also a movie that's been under fire by the mainstream media. They have done all they can to try to shade this movie, knock this movie down, and that sort of is all you need to know about the despicable nature of the people that operate mainstream media now. Again, the media is the real virus. And they've been attacking this movie. They've called it, equivalent to a QAnon wet dream. What that's got to do with anything, nobody knows. But the movie has whipped Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and it has whipped Mission Impossible at the box office domestically here in the United States. I mean, flat out, those other two movies are actually going to be budgetary bombs for those studios. This movie was passed on by Disney. That should tell you all you need to know about Disney. So, Tua Tagovailoa made some very interesting comments and surprised a lot of people. And this is probably going to gain some traction because anytime somebody comes out against the mainstream narrative, breaks narrative, we know the wokes, they lose their minds, and Sound of Freedom is a trigger for these people right now. That tells you how gross these people are. This is Outkick because Tua Tagovailoa came out to the media, right to their face, and said, you need to go see this film. Uh-oh. Look out. Tua Tagovailoa. Time to watch your back. Time for the hit pieces to start rolling in. By the way, Odell Beckham Jr. also saw the movie and said it was quote-unquote heavy. In other words, and it is a very heavy film. I mean, it's a brutal movie. It's heavy. You're dealing with extreme subject matter that's raw and ugly and also true. The Miami Dolphins are spending much of this week in Houston for joint practices against the Houston Texans, and players, coaches saw this as a good time to bond. So quarterback Tua Tagovailoa went to see the movie Sound of Freedom, and he liked the movie a lot. So much that he advised reporters with children to go see the film. Quote, Sound of Freedom is good, Tagovailoa told a group of reporters at his weekly press conference. Yeah, Sound of Freedom is definitely really good. You guys should watch that, especially you guys with kids. Tagovailoa is not alone. Odell Beckham Jr. recently saw the film and was left speechless. Sound of Freedom recounts the story of Tim Ballard, a former U.S. government agent who embarks on a mission to rescue children from sex traffickers in Colombia. Starring Jim Caviezel as Ballard, the plot follows Ballard's anti-sex trafficking organization as it embarks on Operation Underground Railroad to free children from what is essentially child sex slavery. The film has been a runaway hit since its July 4th release. It's grossed roughly $175 million, despite backlash from critics and media who see it as some kind of right-wing conspiracy movie. That just tells you the total creeps that is running the media and that are behind the scenes. Yeah, that's all you got to know. CNN recently had a guest, Mike Rothschild, argued that Sound of Freedom is a film made to appeal to QAnon audiences. Something that, look, the director of this movie very much pushes back on. It stars Caviezel, who appeals to QAnon audiences. Quote, you have a lot of people who are in this world of QAnon who say they don't know what this is. They don't know what this is. They're just asking questions, Rothschild said. With Jim Caviezel, he is openly embracing it. He is openly using catchphrases and concepts. He's speaking at QAnon conventions, and this film is marketed to either specific QAnon believers or people who believe all the same tenets of QAnon but claim they don't know what it is. So now, if you're against child sex trafficking, you are a member of QAnon. Congratulations, welcome to the membership, I guess. I mean, I don't even know what it is. I've heard the phrase. I've heard it a lot. I mean, we even heard Trump during some debate. It got brought up, and he was like, I don't even know what it is. Now, I don't. I mean, and you guys know I stay in tune with things on the right just as well as anybody. Me and John have talked about it behind the scenes, and we're both like, I don't know what it is, really and truly. Rothschild added that while he accepts child sex trafficking exists, such films such as Sound of Freedom are created out of bogus statistics. I have argued this, that if the movie shines light on something bad, even if there are things wrong with the statistics, and I don't know that there are, that all the statistics may be 100% factual, but even if it is, you have shined a massive light across the United States on a horrible thing. And for the media to poo-poo that, shame on those assholes. With something like Sound of Freedom, Rothschild said it's specifically looking at QAnon concepts of the child trafficking rings that are run by these high-level elites, and only people like Tim Ballard and only people like Jim Caviezel, by extension, the ticket buyer, can help bring these rings down. Unbelievable. That's some conspiracy theory concoction of its own to explain why the NFL quarterback liked the movie. Even if it is NFL quarterback with league's second highest QB rating in 2022, it would definitely be a blow to Rothschild's mind that Tagovailoa, the most staunch defender, called themselves Tuanon, and that is a fact. A lot of Tua Tagovailoa fans are in fact known as the Tuanon phenomenon. That's a thing. It's laughed about, but he's got a legion of fans out there that are very, very big. I've got no issues with that, by the way. I don't. I like the kid. I watched every snap he ever took at Alabama, and I thought he would be a solid NFL quarterback, akin to somebody that's got a little bit more talent than, say, Alex Smith at his peak, a guy that was going to be more of a Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins type than, obviously, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. But do I think you could win in the right system with Tua Tagovailoa? Sure. Sure, absolutely. If things are right around him, I think he could absolutely take a team all the way and win it. Good defense, good running game, some real weapons, which they really have down there. I mean, they've got Waddle, they got Tyreek Hill. Now, if all their players can stay out of trouble, that's another theory, and that's another side of it. I did an Xavier Howard video yesterday, and of course, Tyreek Hill is awaiting response from the NFL on his Miami incident. So I don't know. But I certainly appreciate the fact that, and look, Tua Tagovailoa knows if he says go see Sound of Freedom, he's going to take heat. He knows that. He didn't care. He just said go see it and told the media to go see it. That's the best part of all of it. Looked right at the media and said, you guys need to go see this film. They were all like, oh my God. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.